Hello, folks, and welcome to the Counting Sheep podcast, episode 45. My name is Ruth, and I will be your host. And welcome to my podcast. My podcast is about all sorts of things that are fibery in the world, namely crocheting, knitting, spinning, and tending a few sheep on a small farm in Vermont. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back, and thank you for all your wonderful comments. I always enjoy reading what you have to say. And if you're new here, welcome. I hope you find something that resonates with you here. I'm coming to you a little late this week, 4 or 5 days late. Sorry about that. Things got a little busy. We had an ice storm since last we spoke, and I will probably have put footage either on the intro or the outro, but I think I'm going to save the outro for what I got up to yesterday. Yeah, spring is having quite a time trying to decide whether it wants to stay. The ice storm took out quite a few large branches, but one really huge, branch. I mean, it was huge. I thought the whole tree fell when the thing came off. It made quite a racket, and we saw it happen in live TV, so to speak, live motion. Yeah, so there's going to be quite a bit of cleanup in the spring. My husband has already carted away quite a bit of wood from just the winter, but this left quite another, bunch of wood on the ground. So yeah, it's an ever-evolving landscape here in Vermont because of the weather. We're supposed to have 60-degree weather, I think, tomorrow, and then it's supposed to get cold again. So I did check on my garlic, though. That garlic is doing just fine. It's peeping up its head. It's fine, so I'm glad at least somebody's enjoying the weather out there because it seems like it's up and down since then. But enough of the weather. Yeah, I want to bring to you today some crocheting, some knitting, some spinning shenanigans. Yeah, and what else do I have to? And some acquisitions. Some things that I acquired recently from some favorite dyers of mine. But first, what I'm wearing, this is if you've been with me for a while, you've seen me make this. This is the Tunisian sampler shawl. Yeah, and it's by Haley Joanne Robinson. I will put her name here on the screen. But it's done in different weights, not real different weights, between sport and DK weights of yarn. And I basically went stash diving for this shawl, and it's beautiful. Each one of these strips, or stripes, I guess you would call them, is a different Tunisian crochet stitch. So it was a nice learning exercise for me. I've learned a whole bunch of new Tunisian crochet stitches. I did understand a couple of Tunisian crochet stitches before I went into this. Yeah, but this taught me a lot. And so if you're one of those people who likes Tunisian crochet and has a few stitches under your belt, this might be something that you want to take on. Like I said, it's sport and DK, so it's got some heft to it. Let me show you the rest of it here. Like I said, I've shown this before on the podcast, and I just really enjoyed making this. Yeah, so yeah, go stash diving. Gotta love a project where you can stash dive. So what I have on here is a t-shirt that I actually sewed in a class that I took from Cal Patch. Cal Patch is a wonderful instructor, and she teaches sewing, basically self-drafting of patterns. So, and it sounds really ominous, but it isn't. She just breaks it down for you so that you actually get a pattern that fits your body measurements. And then all I did up here was a little bit of a crochet shell stitch just to give it a little bit of zhuzh. So yeah, this is done in crochet cotton, I believe, if memory serves. But this t-shirt really is nice because it's got a lot of nice shaping to it. It goes down to about mid-thigh on me. And yeah, really enjoyed making this. And I still have the pattern, so I can make more. And it's drafted to my measurements, which is great. And that's kind of what us crocheters and knitters do anyway, right? We kind of make the material, and we make it to fit our bodies. So yeah, I was really excited to make this. So all right, so enough of my little jibber jabber here. Yesterday I went to a full day of spinning. It was a workshop that was being instructed by Alanna Wilcox, who is a master spinner. She came to the 6 Loose Ladies, and we did 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the afternoon, the break for lunch in between. And I'll show you later what we did in that course. Yeah, otherwise I'll get into it for too much and I'll go off on a tangent. But suffice it to say, had a lot of fun. Once we got there, then we had another little snowstorm, which amounted to about 4 to 6 inches, depending on where you were. And southern Vermont got most of this storm this time around. So I started off with just wet roads, and the further I went south, the dicier it got. But luckily got there, and by the time it was time to leave the workshop, everything had turned to rain. So it was an easy ride home. I think I'm going to leave the shawl off for now because it's, like I said, this is a warm one, and I'm feeling it. So I'm going to put that down there. I always start off with crochet, so I'm going to jump right in. The first thing I do not have to show you, I have a finished object. And if you were here with me last time, I showed you part of a newborn blanket that I made for Warm Up America. It was the 2025 challenge. And it was a pattern that was designed by Brittany from BeHookedCrochet.com. And it was a challenge to make this blanket and to have it postmarked by the 14th of April. And that happens to be tomorrow. And I don't really like bringing things that far down to the wire. So yesterday, while I was at the spinning class, I had my husband run it to the finished blanket to the post office for me, so that it's safely in the mail and it's on its way to Warm Up America in Texas. But anyway, they do this every year, and they not only do blankets, they do things throughout the year where you can make rectangles for Afghans, and you just send them these rectangles and somebody else puts the blankets together. I think also there's a preemie hat thing, there's regular hats, there's scarves, all sorts of things to make for people that are in need of them. But anyway, my blanket, and I'll try to put a split screen in here because I did take a picture of it, and I did film some footage of it too. I put it outside and did some footage of that. But I did mine in the called for yarn. This is Lion Brand ice cream, they call this. And this is what I have left of these really huge balls that I had. I meant to take this and put it on a ball winder and ball it up. But that will be for another day. The two colors I use, this is Blueberry and I think this is Tutti Frutti. And I have, let's see, 92 grams left of the blue colorway and 106 grams left of the Tutti Frutti. So I think I probably have enough to make another blanket. So I might do that for perhaps a little one that comes into the periphery of my life or into my life. But anyway, yeah, so this is what the yarn is. There's ice cream regular, and then I got the big scoop, which is these huge balls. I got it at Michael's because that's the only place I could find it. I've been in my Joann store as of late, and it really kind of looks like a bomb went off in there. And I actually was looking for some embroidery floss, and there was none to be had. Yeah, so it's kind of sad, and it made me sad being in there, so I don't think I'm going to be going back into Joann's. But Michael's, they're going to take over at least part of my crafting needs here. So yeah, so that was great. I really enjoyed doing that. It made me feel good to be giving back, especially with something that I can make with my hands. So that was Warm Up America challenge, and that was for the newborns in need. So that was a baby blanket. All right, so that was my FO for crochet. In whips, I have to show you the Sivu tee, which is by Linda Skuja. And I did a bit of this. This is a fun pattern, let me tell you. I'm having a blast with this. So that is the Sivu tee, and that is Linda Skuja herself modeling it. As you can see, it's got quite a bit of texture to it. She is the texture queen. Really enjoy her patterns. I am doing this in fingering weight yarn. I think the pattern calls for sport weight, but I was able to make gauge with fingering weight yarn. This fingering weight yarn is from Hope Made Yarn Co. And this is her Hope's favorite, but I think she's changing the name of this base to simply Hope, just H-O-P-E. It is 80% extra fine superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% recycled nylon, otherwise known as MCN in the biz. So this is the possum colorway, which is just gorgeous. There's some pink in there, going through there. Really nice color. But anyway, this is how far I've gotten. I think I'm on row 17 or going on 17, 16 or 17. So, and it seems to be curling up a bit on the end, but I can kind of show you where we're going here with this. It's so pretty. It reminds me of leaves. I just love leaves. I love the motif of leaves. So yeah. And I think I mentioned before that this looks a little narrow, but it's a very stretchy neckline, goes over my head just fine. The way you start this allows for a lot of stretch. So yeah, so that's the Sivu tee. Let's see, I'm doing mine in a 4.0 millimeter hook. That was the gauge that I liked the most. I like the material of, so Mine will probably be something that I wear over a t-shirt. I kind of like that look. Although she wears hers next to skin. This particular MCN is wonderful. You can wear it next to skin, at least I can. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I will wear it right next to skin, but we'll see how it comes out. Yeah, so really, I'm really excited about this. So once again, that's Hope's favorite in Possum. But like I said, I think she's changing the name of that base to Hope. All right, so that is it for... Nope, got one more thing in crochet I want to show you. Last time I showed you a pattern that I was kind of designing. All this, my Chakra Beret. And I showed you the one that I made up in my farm yarn, which is no longer available. And I decided to work it up in J&S 2-ply. And so this is the finished J&S 2-ply. The colors are really nice. They came, it's so vibrant. And then this is the inside, kind of the band, which comes in so that it fits nice and snug around your head. But, you know, I can't leave well enough alone. And I decided to do one with a gray colorway for the background. And this is J&S. They call this their Shetland Supreme Jumper Weight. But it can be used with the regular J&S 2-ply. And so this one is the color 2009. This one is, the white is 2001. And let me show you how this is turning out. Now I'm reversing the order of colors on the dark one just for kicks. So there is the gray. So for people who just can't wear white or don't like to wear white, this is kind of a different option for, I thought. And because I can't leave well enough alone and I wanted to see how this looked, I want to finish this before I actually publish the pattern on Ravelry, because I really want to get a picture of this and this for the pattern. So people have some choices, you know. Obviously, you can use any background color you want. And also you can use any colors you want for the little popcorns that go from the center out. You know, the choice is yours, but I thought it would be nice to have two different options to show on the pattern. Like a lot of patterns do that. So yeah, so that is my Chakra Beret. I'm really still kind of wondering whether I should call it a beret or a tam. What do you think? Comment down below. I'm torn between those two names. I've always called it the beret. But a lot of, I've seen them use the term tam a lot as well on Ravelry and elsewhere. So yeah, so that's I like how the purple is in the middle. It'll be interesting to see once I get out here how the red is reflected. But yeah, so that's my Chakra Beret or tam. Please vote. No prizes. Sorry. But yeah, I was really happy how that came out with the J&S, of course. And I will keep you posted as to whether, when, I shouldn't say whether, I should say, you know, when that is published on Ravelry. It'll be my first pattern. I have a lot of ideas. A lot of them don't get to paper, but we'll see what happens. All right, so moving on to knitting, I wanted to show you another finished object. Who am I? So this is almost finished. This, I just took it off the blocking board. This is The Entertainer by Hinterim Stein. And this is a course, this is a class I took with Pam Grushkin online. And we were pretty much left to make the other half of the sweater on our own since, you know, it was the same thing that she had taught for the first half. So here it is. This is so hard to hold up. I think I'll put a picture in here too. I'll split screen it. I got some hair in my mouth. So anyway, here is the front. And I'm doing a lousy job of holding it up. There we go. Never mind this divot here. I think I got a little aggressive right here with my blocking pins. So that will probably need to be reblocked, or it might work its way out with this type of yarn. This yarn is Bare Naked Wools. And it's their Milkshake Sport. And this is the color Peanut Butter Shake. So here's the back. And if you've been with me, you know that there's a portion of this part, I'll put it up this way. This was sticking out big time. This little triangular area here was sticking out big time before blocking. And I was assured by Pam that it was going to block out, and she was right. So yeah. And then, of course, the sleeves, my ends have not been woven in. So technically it is not totally complete, but that will take me all of 10 minutes to do. I already did this side. And then there's two other ends, I think, down here to be blocked. This is a high-low hem, so it's lower in the back than the front. So you can see. Yeah, and I'm going to just stand up. Yeah, this goes to about mid-thigh, so it's a good thing that there is some leeway here. I think once I have it on, after I put the, work the ends under, it's going to look great. So, yeah, I'm really pleased. This took, it seemed like forever, but it is a sport weight yarn. So those sweaters, along with fingering weight yarn, are quite a commitment. So, yeah. So, yeah, I really enjoyed that. This, if I haven't mentioned before, is quite a mind bender of a pattern in that it's not a typical construction for a sweater. So what happens is you start up here going back and forth, believe it or not, and then you end up connecting it in the front. And then you end up working the front and the back and then the sides. So it's quite interesting. I'm glad I did it. You know, it keeps the mind moving and grooving. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, but I am glad it's done. There's a certain satisfaction in getting things done, even though I have 1,000,001 whips on the go. It really is. That was a fascinating knit. So if you want a little bit of a challenge, I recommend it. So, all right. And then going onward, let me see, where are we? Oh, so I have my whip of many, many weeks, many, many months. And for knitting, and that is the Nordic Nights. You've seen this before. I just keep plodding along on this sucker. It's just the way it is, you know. But I'm happy to say that I'm getting toward the end of one sleeve. If you've been with me for a while, you know the yarns I'm working with. This is a hand spun that I made from 2 different hanks that were dyed by Heidi of Dirty Girl Yarns. And this one is from Maine Yarn and Fiber Supply. This is a fingering of theirs, and the colorway is Dutch Mood. This is merino wool and nylon, 80-20. Excuse me. Anyway, here is my Nordic Nights. And this is where I'm at with the sleeve color work. Now, there's nothing difficult about this color work versus this color work here. It's just a matter of I'm working on a small circumference. So it's taking me just a wee bit longer to do. She has you go up a needle size for the color work because, as you can see, it really pulls in, and I'm hoping that blocks out. I think it will. Just as you can see, it's kind of lumpy bumpy. But you know, it's just a wonderful pattern. I mean, Jenn Steingass's patterns are just beautiful. Her yoked sweaters, and they come in all different weights of yarn, so you don't have to take the big deep dive into a fingering weight. I just happen to have spun this up, and I went like, now what I'm going to do? And I had just bought a whole, not a whole bunch, but maybe a handful of patterns from Jenn Steingass, just because I think they're lovely. And so that was kind of a natural segue. But I love it. I really do, and I can't wait for it to be done. It's kind of like the Entertainer. Once you get going on it, and you realize how long it takes, and then you're like, I just want it to be done. And I'm not whining. You know, because knitting, you should never whine while you're knitting. But yeah, I'm really liking the detail on this. So yeah, that's the Nordic Nights, my never-ending saga. It will end, and then I'll be sad because it is a very nice pattern and a nice knit. But I think I'm going to take a break from sweaters for a while after this. I think I kind of did myself in with 3 different fingering weight yarn, fingering weight sweaters. The other one I still have on the go is the halftone, and I'd like to get that one done, and then I'm going to take a break. Probably just make vests, things without sleeves, for a while, and make small stuff. And I think that would be a good plan for me. Anyway, moving on, I am going to dive right into spinning since I've had my spinning shenanigans yesterday. The actual class was called A New Spin on Color, and I think I had shown you Alanna's book. This is her book, A New Spin on Color, and she named the class after it. This is the compilation of, I think this was her big project, like her dissertation that she did for her master's in spinning. Now, not all masters end up, you know, writing a book. She just is one of those people that's very dynamic and put all of her ideas in one place so that others can benefit from them. So yeah, she's quite an accomplished spinner and very, very knowledgeable. We had a really nice time with her. I wanted to show you what the 6 Loose Ladies kind of put together for us. We each got a little goodie bag from the 6 Loose Ladies when we got there. This was the bag, what's left of the bag of fiber that Alanna gave us to work with at the workshop. The 6 Loose Ladies provided a nice notebook, blank notebook for taking notes, which I think is great. Map of the area. They also supplied us with what was going on the weekend, because it wasn't only yesterday. Today they were holding some classes in the shop on beginning spinning, drop spinning, those sorts of things. And they also had Heidi from Dirty Girl Dirty Girl Yarn there, and she had a little pop-up trunk show there. So but this was just such a nice surprise. Somebody there had sewed one of these for each of us, and there were 19 of us in the class. It's just a nice little pouch. I'm going to take the tissue paper out. Sorry about the rustling. But yeah, just a nice little pouch to put your notions in. I think I'm going to do crochet hooks. This just screams, give me a crochet hook. But yeah, just beautiful. Such a nice touch for, you know, being there and participating. So, so that was the goodie bag. I want to show you the roving that, the main roving that Alanna handed out to us. Everybody got something different. So this was mine. And this was mine. She had us like crochet up, finger crochet up, but of course I couldn't do that. I had a crochet hook on me and I crocheted it. So, so that's basically the roving in a small slip, you know, a small shot. So, and then the exercise was to spin it up in various ways. So she had us, you know, split this roving down to really small pieces, and then we got to spin these up. And it's just wild, because when you look at this, it's like this all came from this same roving. So this, we started off over here. This is a singles, although it doesn't look like a singles because it's kind of spinning back on itself, but that is a singles. And then this was a 3-ply yarn that was just spun as a single and chain plied. And then you get the idea. As we went down, we kind of spun a single in different directions in regards to the color. Yeah, it looks better this way, right? Hold it the right way so you can see all the colors, right? So yeah, just fun. It's been a while since I've done a workshop on color spinning, and I think it was just fascinating. This last hole was something I didn't get to. I did get to card all the colors together, but that is still in my bag somewhere. I didn't get to spin that up. I ran out of time. But yeah, just an interesting play on color, and I had a really great time there. So yeah, if you're a spinner and you're into color, it was well worth it. We had a good time. All right. And then I just want to show you acquisitions, some things from some favorite dyers of mine. Yesterday when I was there, of course, I said Heidi from Dirty Girl Yarns was there. And she had her little pop-up shop, so I couldn't resist. And I picked up this roving from her. I'm going to just kind of I'm going to spool it up so that you can see what it looks like. So yeah, so that's one. I brought this back to the workshop because I bought this during our lunch break. I brought it back to the workshop, and one of the ladies said, colorful. Like, I think my cataracts are coming in because I just gravitate towards these bright colors anymore. And then the other one, which I think I'm going to play with both of them to make a yarn, is this one, which is just gorgeous. And I think she started to name some of her colors. She hadn't before, but now I think she's starting. She's calling this one Win, W-I-N, as in winning. And this one I don't think she named, no. But this is a they're both Targi, I think. Yeah, I went with the same type of fiber because I kind of wanted to have some consistency, even though the color will probably not be consistent. So yeah, so that's fun, huh? She has so much stuff there. It's like your senses just are on overload, taking in all the color. So yeah, so that was Heidi. And then the other acquisition I got was from Hope Made Yarn Co. Hope is doing these wonderful little sock sets, and she's doing them seasonally, and I'm just loving it. Her latest one is called April Showers Bring May Flowers. And this is in her JoJo's favorite base, which is a 75% fine superwash merino and 25% recycled nylon. And so so she makes the the kind of the variegated one, and then the little solid color for toes, heels, and cuffs. And I am just I'm in love with the colors. They are just wonderful. And like I said, these are seasonal. She has them for a little while, and then she moves on to the next color for the season. But I just wanted to share with you the one from last season, which is stick season. Stick season in the pines. But I want to say we have stick season up here too. I mean, and it's long on both ends, like in November and in April. But anyway, yeah, this is stick season. I think this one is still available. I did check her website today, and it looks like she still has it there. So, but once again, JoJo favorite sock set, and that is stick season. She had two different greens you could choose from, and I went with the pines. I think she has another one that's like seashore something, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Hope. I'm kind of I'm kind of a little brain dead at this point. Yeah, so anyway, that's her stick season. And the one she doesn't have anymore, which started this whole thing with me, was the colorway she made for her housemates at Rhinebeck. It was like the gift that she gave to her housemates, and this one's called Rhinebeck FOMO. This one, unfortunately, is no longer available. But what she did was she picked out the colors from the variegated ones, and you could have your choice of what color for the contrast. And I chose orange. Like I said, I think my cataracts are coming in. So, yeah, I'm looking at all the brights right now. But yeah, that's Rhinebeck FOMO, stick season, and then this one is the April Showers Bring May Flowers, hopefully here in Vermont. All right, I think that's all I have for you. I've been very chatty, and I think I need a glass of water now. I hope you're all well. I hope you're crafting and keeping that close. And stay well, and I will see you the next time. Take care now.